and great day, everybody. I am Dr. Marrian Sista Efua of Exponential Existence, and you're listening to the Thursday Thought. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What do you want to feel? How do you know? Let's do this thing. This is a place where you get involved to have an experience, empowering conversations that ignite and inspire action for those who are willing and ready to do exactly what needs to be done. I am so excited that all of us could be here together. I'm excited to spend this afternoon with you, this evening with you, or this morning. And I'm going to tell you, this is our Thursday thought, and we are constantly looking for opportunities for us to shine and grow and begin to examine the higher parts of our lives so we can think better, so we can be better, so we can serve better, so that we can examine the parts of us that keep us aligned. And so we're going to be embarking on a journey tonight. And I want to share with you, if you hear my voice, yeah, I've been talking. I think that I'm talking a little bit more than what I usually would do because at this time we are embarking on a time in our lives when most people just are not quite able to see their way out. So I was talking to someone today, and one of the things I realize is that too often we are being distracted. We're being distracted by conversations, memories, the news, the um, the financial situation, all the news articles, all the commentaries that people are doing nowadays. So, tonight on the Thursday night session, what I wanted to do with you tonight is I wanted to give you an opportunity to have a conversation with me, a conversation to discuss exactly what's blocking us, what's preventing us from being who we're supposed to be at all times, what's developing behind us and through us and not as us, that is not allowing us to live the life that we know we have said we wanted to live. This particular situation and circumstance that we in, it is a very powerful time, but it's also not as powerful as what we can do to respond to it and not be bound to it. We know we've sent love and peace and life and just comfort, some level of comfort to those that may be experiencing this condition right now. We also want to reach out to those of you and extend the highest levels of sympathy and empathy for you and your family, for those workers that are out here diligently doing what they have to do to ensure that the rest of us are taken care of. So that to me is talking about a superhero. Superheroes. What does a superhero look like? I think that sometimes we get confused by what a superhero is because all of us got our beginnings of superheroes by looking at the superheroes we had with us at that time. Superman, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, Batman, Robin, Hawkeye, Thorn, Wolverine, and we can go on and on and on and on and on. But the identity of the superhero, as I begin to process this, I begin to understand that the identity of a superhero, oh, there are certain characteristics that a superhero has to have if a superhero is going to be a superhero. See, the identity of a superhero is not predicated upon whether or not somebody actually believes they're a superhero and that they actually know that they're a superhero. It is about that person who is that superhero coming to an agreement and accepting the fact that they are a superhero. I'm likened to understand that a superhero, the identity of a superhero may sometimes seem to be a little bit different than everyone else's because we see the glitz and the glamour of the action of being a superhero, the action of being superhero. But tonight I want to talk about the characteristics. I want to talk about the characteristics of a superhero, the characteristics that exist in a superhero, an everyday superhero. Superheroes are around us all the time, but yet, like angels, we tend to ignore them sometimes because it may be inconvenient to recognize that a superhero is sometimes looking exactly like you or a little bit unusual or a little bit more in obscurity than what the average person might be. They're diligent, they're focused, but they look just like everyone else. A superhero always looks just like everyone else. A superhero also is willing to use their experience and awareness at any given moment, their experiences from their past, because see, every superhero always has a backstory. Every superhero has a backstory. So that backstory that this superhero is holding on to is the very thing that's going to give them the opportunity to blend right in with everyone else. It looks like there's nothing different, but they may be from a faraway place. They may be able to come from an insignificant part that no one even was aware existed, but yet they're here looking like everyone else, bringing their experience, their backstory. And see, it's the backstory. The backstory is what keeps the comic strip going. The backstory is what keeps the story of the superhero growing and expanding. The backstory is what allows us to get a little insight and have a little bit more of a rah rah cheer and a comfort and a knowing. And we want to encourage and support that superhero. See, the backstory is what keeps you pulled into the plot. The backstory, the tense moments when you begin to think that this superhero is nowhere to be found. The superhero is not going to win. They're too tired. They've been through too much. Oh no, oh no. But then the superhero remembers a time when it was much worse. They remember a conversation from an ancestor. They remember a conversation from a parent. They remember the images that motivate them, that cause them to be able to survive. And with that, we see them unleash and allow themselves to be connected to other people in high levels of conversations. Every superhero I've ever known has always had a direct line to the mayor of the city, the governor, the commissioner. Every superhero I know is able to get into touch with those in higher places because they are being recognized by the people that really matter. Sometimes the everyday citizen is not even aware, even those that they live with, work with every day, are not always aware that they're the actual superhero that's out here doing these things. So you may even have people that are angry at the superhero that has an identity of superheroes. Something often have a hater mentality. They always have these hater mentalities that are always coming at them. There's always somebody writing an article talking about how they didn't do something properly, but the superhero never gives in. The superhero understands that they are looking like everyone else, and so therefore they experience everything else. They must have that backstory, and it may bring up some parts of that backstory, but it gives them a little more strength. They're going to realize that even though they have that backstory, and even though they look just like everyone else, it has allowed them to maneuver and exhibit themselves in some with some connections and make some connections that are going to take them to the next level to be able to accomplish the very thing they want to do, which is be a superhero. Be a superhero. That's what I said. You understand, that idea of the superhero is going to be driving them. And so when they have these connections, they are committed, regardless of who's being throwing the haterade on them, regardless of who is questioning the validity and the necessity of a superhero to be in this situation, in this time, in this town, in this state, on this channel. When they are challenging a superhero, the superhero pays them no mind because the superhero is committed, because the superhero understands that it has an assignment to do and that there are persons who are relying upon them, and that we cannot afford to let this opportunity go any longer without releasing. Oh, yes, that's what a superhero does, y'all. We're talking about the identity of a superhero tonight here on the Thursday Night Thought at Exponential Existence. A superhero is also going to be have a willingness to help. Superheroes, no matter what, when they hear the sound, when they see the signal, when they are able to feel the tingling sensation, they move into action. They can recognize there's somebody out there that is in need of help. And so whether they're going to jump through buildings and watch and monitor the city, whether they're going to use technology to keep aware of it, whether or not they're going to be right in the middle and have a signal where they can be told, or a network of individuals that are going to support them and give them the referrals to let them know what's about to happen. a superhero, the willingness to help. And then that superhero is also about the result. You see, when superheroes come in, whenever the story comes, a superhero comes in and swoops in right in the snap, in the moment of time, right when it's desired, right when it's supposed to happen. The superhero comes in, saves the day, fights off the bad person or the bad character, and then begins to zoom away as if nothing has happened. Because that is, for them, the usualness of being a superhero. They're not waiting around for a big fanfare. They're not waiting around for someone to recognize them. They're not waiting around for that person who they just saved, who they just answered their help, call for help. They're not waiting for them to say, hey, can you believe the superhero was just here and helped me? That may not happen. But instead, that superhero is getting in gear. That superhero is going back to go save another life, save another day, to create the space where you can grow and expand. And he can be, and she can be that hero, that superhero. So the superhero also understands that it's a tough to be a superhero because superheroes are not often able to have families, families that allow them just to enjoy all of the parts. Maybe something in the family is missing. So therefore they form new families. They form new families based upon them all being superheroes. Or maybe they find a family based upon commitment and loyalty. Or maybe they find a family based upon the fact that they share knowledge and an appreciation for some things, and they really are committed to bringing about change and influencing and impacting the lives of the places where they exist. See, it's not about you taking over someone else's territory. It's about you stepping up as a superhero in your life, in the lives of others. Are you willing to look at the characteristics of the identity of a superhero? Yes, you may look very usual. You may look like other people. You may sound like other people. You may have similar products and services, but you are uniquely, you're something different. There's something different about you. There's a superpower inside of you that no one knows about. You have abilities and you have insights and you have vision that is not like the other people's. You have a strength that is beyond anyone's level of understanding. You have an ability to move in a way that no one else can keep up with you. Absolutely, positively. So it is. You have an awareness to be aware, to interpret and see the solution in all of the chaos. You have the ability to be connected. You have the ability to connect to great people and do great things because you are a great person and you can and will continue to do great things. And you're not worried about your backstory anymore because you understand that your backstory helps gives you the foundation for you to keep creating more stories of you as a superhero. The superhero that's going to bring about the solution, the change. Use your experiences to be able to springboard you forward. And when they bring him up, they're not going to be able to slow you down, to stop you. It won't be the one thing. It might distract you momentarily, but as you continue to take on your identity as a superhero, as you continue to take on your identity as a superhero, you begin to understand that every bit of who you were, who you are, what you are emerging to be is simply that of a superhero. You have to have an alter ego, an enemy that's going to come and attempt. It's going to look like you. Your mages, your nemesis is going to be the one that looks like you. The one that's going to try to remind you that this is not what your life really is. It's going to try to fool you with perceptions of failures. It's going to try to distract you with doubt. It's going to try to get you to dabble versus commit to having mastery. It's going to tell you that you don't have to help everyone. You got to help only certain ones. It's going to tell you that you're too tired to go because you don't have the willingness, because the last time you went, they weren't appreciative. Or you never get the accolade. See, the identity of a superhero allows you to buy into. It reminds you moment by moment, day by day, hour by hour, when you are in action as a superhero. You have no doubt. When superheroes have to go and fight the bad guys, they're not worried about whether or not they're going to make the punch. They just know they are. They know they're going to survive. They know they're going to move forward. They know that if even if the obstacles come in the middle of the fight and they're outnumbered, they're willing to still fight to the end and then get calm and rest and reset and do it all over again. Superheroes, the identity of a superhero. How many of us are willing to be superheroes and begin to implement? If that's you, I'm asking you right now in the comment box to write the word superhero. Write the word superhero because I know that you're a superhero. I know you are. I see you watching. I see that you are a superhero because only a superhero could withstand this time, this evolvement, this next level. Only a superhero. Only a superhero. Absolutely, positively, so it is. So when you're engaging yourselves on these next couple of days, when you're looking back over your actions and the things that you believe that you're so bound and you're so restricted, remember you're a superhero. And remember, just like the characteristics of a superhero, you are going to be able to transcend the moment and still impact and get the results that you desire, and then do it over and over and over again, do it over and over and over again, and again and again and again. The superheroes know why they're superheroes, and that is to influence, impact, and ignite the world. Save the day, save the hour. That's who you are. Superheroes don't stop because someone says stop. Superheroes are masters of the universe. You are a master of the universe. The universe. And that universe is most vast inside of you. You gotta begin to master your mindset. Begin to discipline yourself to master your ability to say yes and to say no exactly when it needs to be said and done. You'll begin to master your wellness and your health so that you can have the optimum levels. You begin to master physical movement. You begin to master your finances. You begin to master the relationships and the communications necessary to have rewarding, reciprocating, abundantly filled joy relationships. Absolutely, positively, so it is. This conversation tonight on the Thursday Thought is to remind you that I know your secret identity. I wasn't sure at first, but then I got it away when I began to see you move in action. It just happened that you were always there. And I'm going to tell you what else I know. I'm also a superhero. I also have a willingness to help, a willingness to see the results manifest, to give you the safe places where you need to rest and be delivered from the places of turmoil and anguish and harm. It usually happens in this place called our mind. When the subconscious thoughts and the emotions are just turning and pulling on everything to give us that little bit of doubt, to make us not believe and remember that we really are a superhero. I have the magic flash, the greatest layer, and it's called exponential existence, where we create lifestyles of holistic prosperity, supporting you through your journey to remember how to do and build up these characteristics of a superhero. Build up the characters of a superhero, because superheroes are what we want. Superheroes are what we desire. Superheroes are who we be. Superheroes, full of solutions, unstoppable. Even in our weakest state, we're able to recover quickly as if nothing has happened and return back to our role as an active, influential, impactful superhero. That's us. It's not anything that's denied from you. It's not something that can be taken from you. You are a superhero. You have the vision. You have the ability to hear. You have strength. You have a willingness. You have an awareness. And you have the ability to bring about results, even with your backstory. Because sometimes your backstory serves as your sidekick to remind you how it all came to be. That maybe it was in a lab, maybe it was a strange storm, maybe it is an ancestral amulet that you wear, maybe it is just a historic genetic pass down, a mutation, whatever you need to call it. Just know that I see your superpower. I see that you're a superhero. And I'm recruiting other masters of the universe, call themselves, to develop and join me in a program that I'm going to be offering. It's simply called Masters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe. It is a program that is designed, it is a group coaching program that I'm going to be offering. Masters of the Universe. Your universe is you. Your universe are the habits, the beliefs. Your universe is the ability for you to be able to have a harmonic existence where you can be a superhero more consistently, where you can begin to let your superpower expand and grow even more than it is and impact even more. Save the day for so many more. Protect so many more. Inspire so many more. That's what tonight is about. Inviting you to remember your identity as a superhero and then come and join me as a master of the universe. This is as I said, a group coaching program that I'm going to be doing. We're going to be focusing on how to build back up your self confidence. We're going to be focusing on how to master your communication with yourself and with your connection. We're going to be talking about how to take charge of the fact that you are a game changer, that you are a change agent, a mover, a shaker. We're going to look at all of the skills and aptitudes that you have and package them up in such a way that you can begin to impact and influence a lot more. That's what our program is. So I invite you to join me. All you have to do is go to the site Mentor 97, bit.ly/Mentor 97, and you'll be able to experience that. And I want to remind you again, this right here is simple. If you're a superhero, why wouldn't you want to be a master of the universe? Why wouldn't you want to increase your self love? Why wouldn't you want to increase the way in which you self invest and work out and be challenged by others who are like you that are superheroes with superpowers? Why don't you want to muster up your strength and match it with someone else who is just as strong as you, but yet can see your weakness and help you find a new way to protect yourself from that weakness? They can help you build a new level of protection as you go forward and serving. Why can't you invest and be around other superheroes to improve and maximize your belief systems, and begin to connect and mastermind with others, superheroes that are looking in growing and expanding and influencing more? That's exactly what we're giving out on tonight. It's going to be online and it's going to take place. It's going to take place in 2 weeks. And you're going to be spending time with me in 2 weeks, and it's going to be on the 13th. It's a Wednesday night. It's the 13th of May, May 13th. And it's going to be a webinar where we're going to come together and we're going to be talking about how do we master the universe. And again, this group coaching program is something that is solid and powerful. One thing I know how to do is how to shift mindset. And I know how to help you regain the identity, You may have a memory of it, but I want to bridge that memory of you being a superhero, and I want you to put it into action more readily. I want to give you a plan and some tools that you can utilize and you can share with you, not only with yourself, but with your team if you have a team, and we can develop one for you. And you also want to be able to impact your loved one. Now is the time to do self investment and dedicate this time to you to exercise, grow, and expand. Now is the time for you to begin to figure out what are these blockages and why do I want to hide that I'm a superhero? Become a Masters of the Universe program with us. Masters of the Universe program is only for superheroes, those that are willing, courageous, right? Those that are willing to save the day regardless. Join us in the Masters of the Universe program. Start May 13th. Go to bit.ly/mentor 97 and sign up. We'll be here waiting. We'll be here waiting. You're going to get this weekly call with me, a live call with me, a weekly live call with me. We're going to be focusing on mindset. We're going to be focusing on, I said, developing a higher sense of self love, of your superhero abilities. We're going to identify and look closely at your top 3 gifts and abilities as a superhero. And we're package them up in such a way that allows you to not only monetize them, but begin to see your life shift for the better, to experience more abundance, to experience more optimal health, to experience opportunities to increase your financial stability, to activate an awareness of your spiritual awareness in such a way, the spiritual principles and success principles working side by side as a master of the universe. That means there are no limits, there's no boundaries. So bit.ly/mentor 97. And we'll get a chance to have a conversation. I have any questions, be sure to reach out to my office. This is not something you want to hide, you want to wait for. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't even mention this. I mentioned it briefly in another program I was in, and I've already acquired some people. So I don't want to um, belong this process. I want you to go ahead and get in, and I want you to take advantage of this. You are a superhero. We need you. We don't need superheroes retiring. We know how that turns out. We've seen that. We want superheroes back in action and ready to go. And now is the time for you to do so. Now is the time for you to swoop in and save the day. And the first person you're going to save this time is you. Is you. And you too. You too. Yeah. You right there. Yeah. Uh-huh. So with that being said, thank you all for joining me tonight. I am Dr. Marrian Sista Efua. You have listened to the Thursday Night Thought here on Exponential Existence Media. Our website is exponentialexistence.com, exponentialexistence.com/connect. Go ahead and connect with us and join our mailing list. Become our part of our family members. If you're watching us on YouTube, go be sure to subscribe. If you're watching us on Instagram, be sure to subscribe. No matter what you do, subscribe, become part of our family. And we look forward to supporting you on your journey to an exponential existence. Until next time.